right, welcome everybody to the very first AMA of the Remix Club. You're probably wondering, who is this guy now? My name is Jonas. I recently joined the Remix Club team, and I'm honored now to produce some content with Navin, which you probably saw in the mini interview a couple days ago. And yeah, we're here for creating cool and exciting content and also to engage with the community. As you can hear, I'm not a native English speaker. I'm from Germany. I hope you understand me fine. And yeah, I would like to say hi to the chat. Maybe everybody can say hi back and let me know if you hear me fine. And I'm very thrilled to be here today. Like I said, this is the first official AMA we have going with one of our artists as a live stream. And as you all know, our artist today is Brian Morris with the upcoming collection, The Order of the Glass Apes, which will be dropping this Sunday, actually, on the 12th of December. And before we get Brian on the stream, so this is an AMA, so make sure you guys also ask questions. Use the chat. I can get your questions on the screen, like this, for example. Hey from Australia. Hey back from Germany. So use the chat, interact with the others. That's what we're here for. And also, I want to mention there's something for you at the end. You can claim a POAP actually, which is designed by Brian himself, as you will see later. And in order to claim it, all you have to do is basically just reach out to us on Twitter via the official Remix Club Twitter handle, or to one of our team members, which is also in the chat, either Choth or Dave. You will find them in our Discord also. That's all you got to do to claim the POAP, to have a memory of this awesome AMA, hopefully. And with that being said, Brian, are you ready? Let's welcome Brian to the stream. Hey, man, how's it going?
I'm great, man. How you doing, Jonas? Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you. So I'm excited to do this. It's in the middle of the night here, actually, but I'm awake as I've never been today. So it's very cool to have you on here. First of all, how was Miami? I think Nevin asked you already, but you said you had needed to recover. Did you settle in? Are you finally back in your?
I have my voice back. I'm back on a normal sleep schedule, and I'm in the garage drawing. So I feel like I've finally got back to normal, but I'm still intoxicated. I'm still high from the experience of meeting so many people. It was fucking nuts.
Yeah. Okay, so 1 out of 10, it was a 10. You would definitely recommend?
I don't think there's a number for it.
Okay.
It's 10 and A and Z.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's sad that we here in Europe, we're kind of from the outside looking in, but I hope I get the chance to also attend one of the conferences or meetings. That would be dope. So let's dive right into it, Brian. I mean, you had the mini interview with Navin, my colleague, obviously, but to get it started, can you maybe talk a little bit about yourself, just who you are and what made you become an artist? A little bit about your story, just to get people to know you.
It's my favorite topic. I'll actually start backwards. So yes. I just recently left my full-time job to focus on creating art all the time, 24/7.
That's cool.
It's beyond cool. And the NFT community and the friends I've made and the ways that we're innovating in the space they've unlocked a whole new possibility for folks like myself that have been artists their entire life, but kind of trapped in a corporate job for the paycheck or for the health insurance or for the security. It's just freeing to be able to say, you know what, what I make is viable and I can live off of that. So that just happened for me. I'm hopeful that it happens for a lot of folks in the future, but yeah. So I just left that job officially about a month ago.
Oh, wow. So very recently.
Super recently. Yeah. Previously, I spent 6 years as a group creative director at a large consulting firm doing really big digital transformations. And then for a while, I was a chief creative officer at a national marketing agency doing everything from social media to TV commercials to global rollouts for Mazda. So like, and then before that, I was a designer and creative director, you know, for the last 25 years or so. So I spent a lot of time in design and building campaigns for people, and building teams, right? Like, and managing budgets and writing statements of work and contracts. And it's crazy. All that stuff, all that years of corporate experience is really well suited for the NFT space, because
Oh yeah,
look at a
definitely.
contract and find the bullshit in it pretty quick.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, I mean the community aspect of it, or what you have also experienced now, it's crazy. Like here I am as a sitting in Germany talking to someone in Chicago, and like our team members from Australia and all over the world. And I think that's really what's awesome about this entire NFT space. So you said it's very recently, a month now you've been doing this full time. So how can we imagine like a day now in the life of Brian Morris? Is there a routine you already
Oh
developed,
yeah.
or are you still settling in?
No, I fell into a routine pretty quick.
Okay,
So you said it's what time there? 3 a.m.
it's 2 a.m. now, so we started
3
at 2
a.m.
a.m. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I get up every day. So
Oh
I get
wow.
up between 2 and 3 a.m. and then
Okay,
I try to be drawing within 30, 40 minutes of getting up. Um, and then I'll draw until about 7 a.m. Uh,
that's cool.
yeah, I have 2 kids and I have a beautiful wife, and a very active household. So it's a quiet time. And I'm a morning person. So yeah, I get up, make a pot of coffee, and get to work. And there's no distractions. I can sit here and just focus and go. And it's amazing. And then I have the rest of the day to, like, you know, help with the kids or run errands. And then in the evening, I sit back down and draw until I go to sleep.
That's exciting. But when do you go to sleep then? I mean, waking up at 2 a.m. It's
Uh, my bedtime is in about an hour. Yeah.
okay, so we gotta hurry up. Awesome. So let's talk art a little bit. I've pulled up your collection here, from OpenSea,
Hmm.
and um, so the first thing which like catches my eye is there's a lot of shiny and colorful art in here. So I was wondering what's the story behind that? What's like what inspires you to make those shiny and colorful art, or is that just your type? Have you always liked colors?
Well, what you're looking at here is the stuff I've collected. So go back up and
Oh,
there's the created tab. But you'll notice, yeah, the stuff
yeah.
I
So
collect is crazy colorful too. Um, yeah,
that's it. Sorry, I was
yeah, no
actually
sweat. Yeah. Um, I don't really have an answer for you around color. I really don't. Like, I think folks that have followed my work for a while know that, pretty much for the last 2 decades, I've only drawn in black and white. And it was really recently that, I took some of the color study stuff that I was doing and yeah, just started ramming it in small doses, and now we're kind of here, which is, you know, I'm really trying to push contrast and color and values to places that, people often ask, like, how the hell did you get that red?
yeah.
Um, and it's really about the colors you put next to it to make that red, you know, really glow.
I also see a lot of cars in here, and we also do see a car in the background, and I'm very proud to say that it's a German car. So it's
Yeah.
actually a Volkswagen Käfer. I can tell. So what's the story with cars? Have you always been a car guy? Um,
Yeah, for sure. Like, I grew up in a car family. You know, my dad restored cars when I was a kid. My aunts and uncles, you know, built big jacked up, you know, farm trucks. And my aunt actually, she does truck pulls. Like, she pulls weights with her truck. Like, that's her hobby.
oh wow.
So we've always kind of been a car family, and yeah, it's part of who I am for sure. You know.
Okay, that's cool. So yeah, I assume you're building your Käfer in the background, like from the ground up new. Is that
This is
is
the
that
third.
almost done?
This one's the third Volkswagen I've built.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, yeah. I take them completely apart down to every single nut and bolt. Like, I take the plating off the bolts and I replate the bolts myself here in the garage. And like, I hand build cars in my copious amounts of spare time.
That's so cool. So, speaking of being like an artist, was there ever like were you like planning on being an artist from the beginning, or was there something, maybe a childhood dream you always wanted to be, I don't know, a pilot or something, or was there like the art was very early in your life and that's just how it became, or did you have maybe another plan?
Well, I've always drawn. The first job I wanted to be a garbage man. You know, the guy that picks up the garbage off the streets. Because I thought you'd find all kinds of cool stuff. I thought it'd be like an adventure every day. But no, pretty quick. Like in high school, I got a job as an illustrator, drawing clip art. You know, drawing stock art for companies, and I've been focused on design or drawing in some way, shape, or form since then. So it's always been a dream to be an artist, but I had to focus on commercial art and creative direction and working in corporate organizations to pay the bills. So I always got to kind of do what I wanted to do, but art, you know, drawing became more of a hobby as I got older. But it's always kind of been there.
Cool. So I'm reading the chat here a little bit. We have to. I always keep forgetting that we are actually in an AMA. So we already had this question answered. When do you go to sleep?
Yeah, 8
so
p.m.
It's quite early. And let's see. There's another one. That's a more complex one. I don't know if you can actually answer that. How can a project leads best reach out to and onboard artists for NFTs, and how does payment typically look? Can you speak on that?
Yeah, I think so. How can project leads best reach out to and onboard artists for NFTs? So I guess it kind of depends on what the NFT project is. But really it's about finding an artist that you love and making it easy for them to participate. So I think a lot of the projects that people hit me up with, the questions are like, hey, you want to work on this? They don't tell you what the fuck it is. They don't tell you when they want it done. They don't tell you how many pieces in the edition. That doesn't, that's not how you onboard an artist at all. Yeah. You really have to kind of seduce us in and show us exactly what it is that you hope our contribution will be.
Makes sense. Totally. We have another one. This one is, wait, I missed it now. Yeah. This one is quite exciting, maybe because we're going to talk about the class apes obviously soon, and the question is now, will you be sticking to that like trademark? Will you preserve in that direction? Can you elaborate on that, or is that maybe?
I mean, for the foreseeable future, yeah. Like, there's no limit to it, right? Like, one of the things I'm really excited about in working through the style is I can create anything in glass, or at least I haven't found something that I've been so challenged that you know, it wasn't possible. Like, the fun part is figuring it out, I guess, is the easy way to say it. Like, it's really fun to sit and contemplate, how the hell am I going to turn this apple into, you know, how am I going to draw this glass? That's the fun part for me, is figuring that out.
It's funny that you say that. I can relate a little bit as a software developer. It's always like the same thing. The fun part is to think actually how I'm going to solve my problem, and then solving it, it's just the icing on the cake, basically. So that's exciting. Let's talk NFTs, because that's why we're here, right? So when we talk NFT space, how did you end up in this exciting space? Can you tell your NFT story quickly?
Yeah, I'll do it quick. We were just talking about community a few minutes ago. Yeah, that's what pulled me in. Like, I heard about this app called Clubhouse, and so I went into there. I didn't know what the hell to expect, and I saw a couple of rooms about art, so I figured, you know, I'll join those, listen to those, and all of a sudden I saw all these artists in there, like names I knew, you know, Jeff Soto and Frank Kozik and Command Z, all these names that I knew from magazines and posters and designer toys. Like, they were sitting there talking about these whatever the hell an NFT is. You know, they're talking about their new projects, and I just kind of listened and paid attention and kind of absorbed as much as I could. And then one night there was a room with this dude by the name of Wizard Skull and another dude by the name of Drew. They were working on a project together, and it was just their workroom, right? Like it was just two people talking about their project and trying to problem solve. And they let me ask a few questions, and I bought an NFT from them, and it was full steam ahead after that. Yeah.
Seriously, yeah. I think it was full steam for all of us. Same for me. I started with Top Shot, and then like it just went crazy. All the Ethereum and Solana, and I don't know what we did. It's crazy how fast time moves in this space also, and how quickly you learn stuff and find stuff. And so it's
this hair was brown 3 months ago when it was really short. Like this is what, don't let your kids do NFTs, guys.
Yeah, we actually do have a question about your beard. How do you keep that beard looking so red?
Oh, it's from Joe. So look at Joe's picture there. You saw it when it was up.
Sorry.
Yeah, Joe has the most epic beard.
Oh yeah, he seems like he has, definitely.
Yeah, it's Joe's birthday today, everybody. So wish Joe
happy birthday, Joe. Then
comments, please wish Joe a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, definitely. So what I'm interested in a little bit is also, I assume you have a lot of fellow artists, friends, which are not into the digital art yet. And I'm interested in like, are they skeptical about it, and like what's keeping them from not doing digital art? Like did you meet fellow artists which like maybe criticizing your digital work even? Can you speak a little bit on that?
Nobody's been so bold as to like come out and criticize me for doing digital art, but
I hope so.
I definitely know a lot of folks that are apprehensive about entering the NFT space in particular. You know, they think it's confusing. It's kind of got a hard learning curve to get into. It's pretty steep. It's easy once you get there, but you know, the terminology is throws people off, and it's expensive. At least they perceive it to be expensive to get into. So those have been some things that have been barriers. And I think a lot of artists, they've found their way, right? Like if you look at a lot of the artists today that aren't in the NFT space, but are earning a living doing what they love to do, creating, they're afraid to take their time and attention away from the tools and marketplaces that have allowed them to survive. And so to take time away from that and focus on, you know, what we just talked about, this thing is a vacuum, right? Like you start talking about NFTs, you spend a little time in it, and all of a sudden it's all you do. Like, I think they're kind of afraid to let go of what they know and love.
Yeah, it's true. A lot of people are just, they live in their habits and they don't want to break out of it. So I think that's a good point you make here. I'm just browsing through the chat. It's incredible how many people ask questions. It's awesome. So keep it going. We have one here, a bit from a technical side, maybe. Was there much thought on which network you release your NFTs on, like Solana, Ethereum, Matic, or was it a simple choice?
That's a fantastic question. So I think part of being in the space means having a keen awareness of all the things that are going on, all the possibilities. So I think our job as an artist in the NFT space is to find the edge and keep pushing it out a little bit. So that means understanding these platforms, these different networks, and being mindful of where you kind of place your bets, if you will. So I do a lot on Ethereum, simply because it's kind of it's the primary, right? It's where the largest audience is. It's at least at this point in time, everybody believes is going to have the longest legacy and most utility, and most value. But I've done a lot of work on Tezos. I think many of us artists, right? A few months ago, we went to Tezos to kind of weather the Ethereum roller coasters. And then that kind of imploded, you know, a few weeks ago. So now, you know, I've been listening a lot in the Polygon rooms, and seeing what works in that space, who's successful, what are people looking for. So I've been looking at that space as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Let's see. It's so hard to keep reading and also listening and speaking at the same time. So let's take one more here. And just lost it. Yeah, this one. Brian, any other NFT project you would like to collaborate with? Is there maybe a project you have on your site?
There are so many. There are so many. I'm really trying to focus my attention on what we might consider to be the blue chip projects.
Yeah.
And it's not because the other projects aren't awesome or cool or worthy. It's so much of the derivative work that I've done. Wow, how do I say this? I want it to be recognizable as the project that it's based on, right? So with the apes, even though they're glass, you could see through the damn things. You could pretty instantly recognize that that's, you know, one of the Bored Ape yacht
Definitely.
clubs.
Yeah.
I think doodles are another one, right? Like they have
Yeah.
such a signature look to them that you can do pretty much anything to it and recognize it. So those are a couple. That being said, I have so many friends in the space that are working on so many awesome projects and launching so many things that I do find myself collaborating with them a lot on their projects, whether it's adding a piece to their collection or we're doing a one-of-one together. So it's my eyes and ears are always open for new collaborations.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sure people will like that. Will like to hear that. So speaking of collaborations, I mean, that's why we're here, right? We are here because of the order of the class apes, and I just pulled the PDF up, and let's see, and let's quickly have a look at them.
Is this the first time that people are going to see? I think you can kind of see the full set here, right?
Yeah, let's wait. I have to get my windows in order here a little bit. So this is actually the full set. We can see. Let me get the question away. There you go. So, well, first of all, I really love them. I think they come out pretty good. I like the class style, and I do like the colors. And you also will tell us a little bit about how you came up with the colors and stuff. And we have a little bit of a video later. So exciting stuff still to come.
Oh yeah.
But what was like the general thought process behind the class apes? How did you come up with like the class apes? What was the idea? How did it emerge?
Yeah, I mean, I won't go too far back, but the first glass ape was for my friend Mitch, and I was doing it was the first ape I'd done a derivative of, and there's a whole story as to why it was glass, but that was the first one, and since then it's just been like, well, how far can we push this? And did some pretty cool commissions, some really interesting one-of-ones, and then the Ape DAO reached out about the remix project that they were about to launch, and they gave me a small sampling of some of the other artists that were involved, and I was like, yeah, I'm all in. I want to make one of these, and that was the ape that was an aquarium, and that was kind of all the apes before that were awesome. I think that was the one that I kind
That
of
one was sick. Yeah.
yeah, I kind of went through to a different place with it. After that, after I delivered that and the project had launched, I was talking to a couple members on the team, and I'd shared just a work in progress from that earlier piece, and it was just the highlights of it. And I think it was Tim on the team that suggested, like, why don't we try to do a series of just the highlights, you know, very just super clean and you know, like a pure form of the ape. And well, it kind of evolved into what we have in front of us here,
Which evolved into something really great in my opinion. So people already also like it in the chat. There's one person really liking the black one. I also do like the black one a lot. It kind of stands out a little because it's not colorful because it's black, obviously. So that's exciting. If you look at the ways, if like we have 5 apes obviously, and 10 in 10 colorways, and then you have 2 secret or chase traits, so to say, which I have an image pulled up here, which I want to pull up quickly because I had to look very closely and I want to make sure people see it. It's like we have a fly trait and we have a crack trait, right, on some of the apes.
Yeah.
And I pulled up the crack trait over here, and this is like the full rendering I pulled up. And can you also tell us why a fly? Like on the other ones, I have is a fly on the shoulder, for example, and why a crack? Is there a story to that?
The crack actually came about because I don't want to say they look too clean, but I just wanted to, what happened if one of these things fell over, bumped into it? Where would that crack kind of appear, and what would it look like? So I really kind of thought about, if this was a glass bust sitting on a pedestal, what might happen to it? So that's where the crack came from. And then the fly, I usually keep a reference table over here with like skulls on it and a bunch of glass objects, so I can kind of look at how glass moves.
Yeah.
And I'm out here in the garage, and there are flies in the garage. And one of my references had a fly on it, and I was like, you know what? Why not? I'm going to add that in here too. So a little piece of my garage is in every piece. Well, not every piece, but some of the pieces.
So I have a fly one also here, the yellow golden one even, and you really have to look closely on it's on his shoulder. So I love that. That's actually a very nice detail. I'm looking forward to collect, definitely.
Well, with those chase traits, and really with just about every piece I do, I like the piece to have an impact when you look at it at this level, but I like to try to find little details that pull you deeper and deeper and deeper into the work, and give you kind of a little reward for exploring it with your eyes, if you will.
Yeah, so people already love it. Like I said, we'll have to look really well for those cracks. I love that. So there's an exciting questions or an interesting question I also want to speak about. So is there a game involved in collecting certain colors? And with that question, let's go back to our initial PDF slides. So there's a game, or is it a gamification, so to say? Because
I would say that, yeah, there's rewards for collecting, and there's special things you might unlock and get for building a collection a certain way. So as you can see, yeah, there's 5 apes, 10 colors, and then the 2 chase traits. That introduces just a whole bunch of different ways to build different collection types. So the thought behind the colors was, if you wanted to build a beautiful color or a beautiful wallet of just these great looking apes, you could do that. But you can collect them by ape type, so you can collect all 10 of
it looks like your Wi-Fi name or password has changed.
Oh, my Wi-Fi has changed.
Your Wi-Fi information.
That's good.
So you can collect by ape type, right? So you can collect by column, if you will, and then you can collect by or row, and you can collect by color as well. So you can collect by column. So let's say you collect all 5 of colorways of the apes, or all 10 colorways of the apes. You might unlock another 11th very special colorway. Or if you collect all the ape styles in a certain color, then you might unlock a brand new 6th ape that is yet to be seen. Similar with the chase traits, if you collect all the cracked ones, maybe you unlock a one that is severely cracked and been. I have this idea in my head of the Japanese practice of when a bowl breaks and they mend it together with gold again.
Yeah.
I wonder what that might look like if it was a glass ape that had been mended together with gold again.
That sounds cool. Yeah. So the collection will be open still. So we're excited to see what will be added as a collector reward, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
When we actually talk about creating those class apes, can you give a little bit more of a step-by-step, like how does it start from the idea in your head to scribbling on a notebook to like the final NFT? What steps are involved?
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's pretty straightforward. I take that base ape asset, right? The PNG that exists that we all know and love, and I start with that, and I redraw it from the ground up. Oh, you've got this video.
Yes.
So this video is interesting. You'll see the creation process from start to finish of, in theory, almost every ape in the collection. So you saw it started with a base image, and I redraw that line drawing, and I go through that process and basically begin to learn the ape in that process. And then I start building the different levels and layers of shape and highlight on top of that. Yeah. This video is unique in that it shows.
Let's do it again.
Yeah. So I'm a bit of a sentimental guy. So when I started this project of the Glass Apes, this particular collection, I actually started with the very same file that I used when I created the Remix ape, the aquarium ape you see here.
This one.
Yeah. To me, it meant a lot to like use the very same file that I used for that remix, so that in some way the new apes are somewhat married or born from that initial one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here I built all the apes in one file in various stages to make sure I had consistency in each one, and each one was finished to the same level of completion all the way through. So, you know, one wasn't done before the rest. Like all 5 of them in all 10 colorways were all done at the same time. So when I was done, it was like a giant sigh of relief, to be sure.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, this video really shows how many steps are actually also involved in creating such an art or a derivative, which is really cool. I'm just reading through the chat again. We have some questions. There was one person asking about. Let's see. The chat moves so quickly. I always, yeah. This one. So Jan is asking us. So it's completely remodeled in 3D.
No, it's all hand drawn in Procreate.
Okay.
Yep. It's a flat. It is a flat image. Like you can, yeah. It's all that's just line work. That's all it is.
Yeah. And then here's one question regarding the rewards. I think we can say that these will probably be a reward then.
So I think we're working through as a team as to which ones are freebies, which ones are things you might need to mint. We're going through all that right now.
Yes. So keep an eye on our Twitter channel for details on that in the near future.
And hi Bob, good to see you, my friend.
You know a lot of people in here. Obviously, that's cool.
I have a lot of friends, and I appreciate that they show up. I really do.
So people obviously are interested now. Like, how do I get my hands on this? I can see people asking, like, they hope they can get their hands on it. So let's pull up the minting schedule for it, real quick. And so these will go live on Sunday, right? The 12th.
Yep.
And I have so many tabs on here. There you go. So the 12th is the minting date, and as with all the derivatives we do or collaborations with artists we do, it comes down to what token you have. So with the Go token, actually you need 2 Go tokens to get 1 free mint. Then there's one, if you have 1 basic token, you can use that basic token and 0.05 ETH to get 1 mint. And then there's a window for remix only holders. So you need a remix NFT for all of these windows, which is obvious. And
you say it's obvious, but I don't know that it is. So I think we should make a
we should definitely point it out. So you need a remix NFT to be able to mint and Class Ape, and then you also need a mint token if you want to have this pre-access and also like a little bit of a price reduction. And yeah, I mean the times are also on here. We are very excited to have that launch on Sunday. Personally, I myself also tried to get one because I really do like them, and
I hope I get one too. You know,
well, you make them, Brian. You should be able to get, one.
Well, you know, I try to be a pretty honest person, so you know, I didn't ask for any mint tokens. I didn't ask for anything extra. Like I want to play too, and I don't know. It kind of irks my chain sometimes when you see these big projects and big drops, and you know, half the stuff goes to the team because they kind of they set it aside for themselves. Like that's not what's going on here. Like there's no pumping, there's no dumping, there is no pre-buy. You show up, you get it.
100%. Yeah, I can confirm it. Like even as a team member, I have to really hunt one down, so to say, and hope I get one. So that's obviously that's good to know. Yeah, and then let's see. I had another question here. I think I missed it. Well, people are obviously hyped and ask you if you do a derivative of their ape.
Oh man. So I want to do more derivatives of apes. I really, really do. My hope is that shortly after this drop, around the holidays, I'm going to go back to the inquiry list that started in August and start at the beginning. And so there's, yeah, I want to get through at least the folks that asked very early on, and then I'm probably going to create a new inquiry list, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I mean, it speaks for your, like, people really want to work with you on that. And then we have an exciting. You proposed the idea actually to do also some art on the stream. So if you're ready, that would be super exciting. Now, if you can share your screen and show us,
Yeah.
how you did design or how you will design the POAP. So somebody asked what a POAP is earlier. I saw a POAP is basically, man, I forgot what the abbreviation was for, but it's like like a token that you have been somewhere to an event, right?
Yeah, it's what do they call a proof of attendance protocol?
Exactly. Thank you, Brian. So, and you designed this one. So let's get you screen on here.
Yeah, let me,
there you go.
Okay, you see it. Great.
Yeah.
Let's
so
make sure
what are we seeing here? This is your iPad, right? Because you told me earlier you do all of your art on your iPad with your Apple Pencil.
That's right. Yeah, so I'm just sharing my iPad screen up here with you guys. This is the POAP file that I drew yesterday. As I was thinking about, like, you know, what do people ask me often? What's the thing I get asked most often is, how the hell do you do that glass effect? And rather than show you how to build an ape in glass, I kind of whittled it down to a very simple thing I might be able to show you guys. So anybody that's interested in how do I make, you know, something like this, or how do I get that reflective light effect, I thought I'd just take 5 minutes and show you a really simple way to do it, that you can do at home, if you will. So this is a Bob Ross moment for you guys.
What software is this?
I use Procreate
Okay.
exclusively. Oh, my son just walked into the garage. Can you shut the door, my boy? It's cold. I'm gonna let him do his thing out here too. So I use Procreate exclusively. Just use regular old Apple Pencil, nothing fancy. People ask me all the time what brushes I use. I just use the ones that came with the tool. You know, brush pen and all that great stuff. If you look at my recent brushes here, like, all of these are the factory brushes, with the exception of Shadow Pen. That's one I made myself. But everything else is just as it came, so no fancy tricks.
Mm-hmm.
But what I thought I might do is show you guys how to make one of these little water droplet things, because the principles in that are exactly the same principles I use when building out like a full glass ape. It's the same. It's all the same. So it's pretty simple, actually. We'll do it just in a couple layers. If you want to follow along at home, it should be pretty easy. We'll just start with like the basic shape of the water droplet we want to make. I always do everything in 50% gray to start.
Okay.
Just because it shows up on everything. And there we go. There's that's going to be the shape of our next water droplet. I always make sure I have once I have my shape, I just turn on alpha lock so that I don't screw it up. And then I'm just going to duplicate that shape real easy. So I got 2 of them now. That first one, I'm going to make a color. What's somebody in the chat? What color should this water droplet be?
Let's see. Yeah, it always takes a second too. They're a little behind. I'm sure they will. Blue, yeah.
Blue, great.
So Alex is saying blue. Let's do blue.
So the secret here is we're going to make it blue, and I'm not going to make it a brilliant blue. I'm going to make it this kind of steel blue, and it's kind of got a little gray in it, right? I'm going to make that background shape that color, so you can see it's blue, and I got my gray shape on top, right? That gray shape, I'm going to set it to overlay. You see, it looks like it disappeared when I did that. Yep. Okay, so overlay is a blending mode that makes the colors below it either brighter or darker based on the values contained in that layer. So that layer right now is 50% gray, so it's not affecting that undercolor at all. Right? I can turn it on and off, and you see no difference.
No. Yep.
But now I'm going to add black. I'm going to use a brush pen. I'm going to use this soft brush, nice little size. Let's see. like this, and I'm going to paint that overlay layer. I'm going to give it a little bit of black, and you can see how it's darkened that blue. And I'm going to do the same thing with white. I'm going to add a little highlight with white on that same gray layer, and now it's made that blue kind of a little more bright and brilliant down in the corner. When I turn it off, you can see how it's kind of begun to shape that, right? So if you want to build shape, if you have a color you like and you want to build shape, use an overlay layer with black and white values. White looks brighter, black looks darker, and you can begin to create a tonal shape around it. Now the trick with there are many ways to draw a water droplet. Many. Some are more convincing than others. Some are funner to look at than others. I'll try to do one that's somewhat convincing here. It's the opposite of what highlights come in the way opposite you would expect. So here I have all my light in this thing, in theory, though not in practice, comes from the top right. Like all my light is kind of coming from up here. So my highlights, the bright white will be in that corner, but it needs like a dark tone underneath that highlight to give that highlight more brilliance. So that shape I just made, I put a little dark in the upper right where the highlight's going to be, actually make that darker. And then in the lower where the shadow you would think the shadow would be is actually going to be much lighter. I'm just going to add a little bit more shape up here to give it just kind of a little more roundness. And then all we really need to do now is add a highlight level, a layer, and I just use the good old factory light pen. Let's see how big it is. You just draw a little highlight like that. And a little crest down here.
Seriously, this is brilliant. I'm really fascinated, Brian. So that's super exciting.
Yeah, and there's your little. That was a really fast one, but you just do that a bunch more times, and then you kind of have this guy.
Wow, that's really
anybody
cool.
can do it. Yeah.
So how long did it I have no idea of any of these things, right? How long does it take to do such a thing, or how long do you take for an ape, for example, for a class?
An ape usually takes me 2 to 3 days of complete, just absolute focus. So starting in the morning, and I'll draw 10 hours a day. It'll take me 2 or 3 days for an ape. Something like this thing that we just did, the POAP, that took me 3 hours according to the file here, which is, that's not a lot. I was fairly stoned, and I was watching a movie while I did it, so I wasn't powering through it, but yeah, that's not bad. 3 hours.
No, seriously, I'm blown away, like how naturally you just do it. That's why you're an artist. People really like it. There's one guy taking notes, and 30 hours for an ape. Nice. Wow. So thank you so much for that. It's, I think, super interesting to see how an artist is actually working on such a thing. So people are asking if we can have the POAP with the blue drop in it.
Oh wow. I don't know. Like, I think we already sent the file, but we'll have to check with the team.
We'll see. We'll check on that, definitely. There are a couple more questions. Let's see. How do you get the POAP? Yeah, so the way you get the POAP is to just hit us up on Twitter, or either Joth or Dave. They're both in here, I think. I saw Joth messaging in Discord, in our Discord. Yeah, there he is. So this guy, he will send you the link to claim the POAP. And yeah, one guy's asking, what movie are you watching? Like, was the movie maybe inspiring?
No. In fact, I don't think it was a movie. My wife has been watching this show called SEAL Team, I think it is.
Okay.
It's pretty horrible show. It was not that inspiring. She loves it, but yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah. Here's a technical question from Alex again. Whoops. Does Procreate trace each step as you work on it, or so you can just review and jump in at any point? That's an interesting question.
That's a great question. So Procreate has a unlimited number of undos But once you close the file, let's say I close this file and I open up a different one, I've lost my history, my undo history on this file.
Oh, okay.
So it's unlimited undos within the work session that you're in that file. So like that blue dot is now like I can't undo it. I have to go back and delete it.
Makes sense. So yeah, I mean, is that something they can improve on maybe?
I don't know. Like I like it. I like it because it forces commitment and
True.
yeah.
True. That's a good point actually. So people are asking about our Twitter handle. Let me post it in here. So this is the official one. And then some Mint related question, where can I get gold tokens? That's on OpenSea, and the official link is also in our Discord under official links. And yeah, make sure you take the link in there, because I know I saw a few fakes. Like unfortunately, always there are fakes.
Anything of value they fake pretty quick.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like, and then the OpenSea search is so bad it like shows you the fake one first sometimes.
Dude, real quick, like I had a pro football player send me a message 3 weeks ago. He was really excited that he bought one of my NFTs, and I was looking at it and I was like, how the hell did this guy buy this? Because it's a 1 of 1 and I know who owns it.
Yeah.
And yeah, he bought a fake, and it sucked to tell him that, like, yeah, what you have isn't real,
Yeah, that's one thing in this space I don't like, nobody likes. It's yeah, you have to really be careful also on Discord and stuff, and people are just trying to scam, and so always be aware, always use official links, and we have the official links for our mint tokens in our Discord, so make sure to use this one.
Can I just want to add something to that point real quick?
Yeah, sure.
And I know we're trying to wrap up, but like,
please. No, we have time, Brian.
Oh, cool. There are, and this is maybe a word of warning or just something to be mindful of. There are so many folks out there that are reaching out to artists and creators, trying to lure you into projects and wanting to collaborate with you and work with you. Just be super mindful of who you choose to engage with in that regard. One of the reasons that I did this project with the Ape DAO was because I knew who the team was. I could trust the team, and I knew the team was growing and ever more responsive. And when I think when you look at a project, part of its value is who's delivering that. And what I've learned over the last few months, especially with the Ape DAO, is folks like Jonah and Tim and everybody else that I've met, super responsive, super mindful about the conversations we're having, how important they are, the ramifications of what happens or doesn't happen, the technical implications of it, how we're going to roll it out, how you guys as collectors are going to get value from it. Like, they're thinking about all these things, and they pushed me and I pushed them. It was amazing, because we were just trying to figure out, how do we make this really valuable for folks, worth holding on to, worth being part of. And a lot of projects don't do that. They're worried about, let's mint it, make our money, on to the next. That's not what the Ape DAO is about. That's not what I'm about. So it was the reason I chose to do this collection with them, was they're the right team to deliver something ape related, for a community of passionate collectors.
I'm really happy to hear that. Like, I've only been around like a month or so in the team now, and my experience also it's very, very positive. And also like the engagement with you and other artists is like very, very positive. So thanks for I think most of the team is in here, so they definitely appreciate your message.
Let me publicly thank them for the hard work they put together, not just for me, but like the Dario drop, like the upcoming Brian Romero drops. Like, there's just all these projects that have dropped and are coming. Like, not every team can pull that stuff off. It's pretty amazing.
Agreed, definitely. Yeah, it takes a team to pull something like that off. So it's great to have good people on board. Speaking of the future a little bit, before we wrap up, Brian, I want to touch on the future shortly. Like, what can we expect from you in the future? Like after the Order of the Glass Apes, can you share something maybe? Is there the next project already you have planned, or?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm definitely looking at a few different things. Once we deliver this, it's not done. So I'm going to start working pretty quickly on
yeah.
all the things to come for those that collect and hold these beautiful glass apes. So I'll be focused on that. I'm looking hardcore at Polygon and what works there and what the future of that chain looks like and how it can have an impact. I'm looking heavy into metaverse spaces. So talking to a few different spaces to try to find the right one for me. I'd actually like to figure out how to set up an artist studio in the metaverse so I could basically live as an artist in the metaverse. You know, have people come to the Brian Moore studio on whatever platform it's on and interact with me, hang out just like this, but in the metaverse while I'm drawing, or you can see the behind the work, behind the scenes, you know, more than a gallery, more of a, almost like an old blacksmith shop, but for digital art, you know.
That sounds so cool. I think you definitely got some people hooked today with your drawings, and so I can imagine something like that, and like artists interacting in the metaverse with different people and doing live art. That'd be really dope to see.
We do it today, like on Discord. I do live streams a lot, and I don't know if any of my friends from VR are here, but have been doing a lot of collaborative art creation in VR with other artists, and which is just, it's insane. Like, it's fucking insane to be standing. Yeah. One guy's in Colorado, I'm in my garage in Chicago, and we're making like a graveyard together or whatever it is. It's just, it's intoxicating.
It's crazy, yeah. But isn't that the awesome thing about the space? There's so many possibilities and like no boundaries beyond countries or whatever languages. It's everybody can interact with each other in any different ways. I think that's what really makes it special, and then there are endless opportunities. So I'm excited to see. I definitely will keep following you for sure now. So I'm really excited to see where you're heading. Speaking of where you're heading, like we all know the NFT space is moving so fast, and like half a year in the NFT space feels like 3 years in real life. I know you've been doing this like for a month now, full time. If you look forward like a year, where do you see yourself? Like, is there a goal you set yourself to reach until?
No, and I say that because, dude, the last 24 hours I've talked to Tommy Chong, right? Like, you know, I know Joe's in here. Like, Joe's working on that project. Like, I'm doing a 1-of-1 for a Tommy Chong project. I dropped and sold an edition in the last 24 hours. I'm talking to Gabe Weiss about some collaborations. I'm working with a couple pro football players on some things.
That's exciting.
Like, there's a conversation with Universal Music kind of going on in the background. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen every day. Like, I just don't.
Yes. Yeah. But that's also great, right? I mean, so much to do for you. It's exciting.
Well, like, and now I'm going to jump off this and try to find the images. Like, there's a gallery opening that just happened in a big mall in Hong Kong today that I have pieces on. Like, I want to see that now. Like, it's just every day there's something bigger than before, and I can't imagine what another year is going to be. Like, it's just nuts.
Yeah. It's like I'm really happy for you. It feels like you really found your way, and that's really nice to see. So I'm really happy for that. Yeah, I mean, is there anything you want to share about anything you want to share about your upcoming projects, about the Order of the Glass Apes? Maybe is there anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
Just thank you to everybody that's made this possible, not just for me, but for artists like myself that have been able to focus on their passions and what maybe they're really put on this world to do. Like, I think the folks that are collecting, you make it possible. You really do. And this entire ecosystem, this NFT ecosystem, is not just about the creators. It is as much about the collectors, because it's you guys that determine what has value and what doesn't. we can put a price on something. That doesn't mean a goddamn thing if you guys don't think it's worth more than that. And so
yeah, true.
We're us working together is really the future of that's how we're going to create the future for sure.
Awesome. That's a very nice closing argument, I would say. Cool. Brian, thank you so much. We are very excited to have this dropping on Sunday. So everybody, details the details about the drop are in our Discord, and ask questions in there. Your son?
Cool.
Cool.
This is my son Levi. He's the coolest kid in the whole world.
Oh, hey man, nice to meet you. He's a stream shy still. That's fine.
Yeah, until I turn this off, then he's going to talk my ear off.
Awesome. Awesome.
Well, thank you so much, Jonas. I really appreciate it.
For sure. It was a pleasure, man. Yeah, I would say look at him. Awesome. Yeah, I talk to you soon, Brian. Keep up the great work, and let's stay connected, and everything else. The main is on Sunday. And with that, I would say we close it up, and I wish everybody a happy, what is it now, night? Yeah, great night. For me, it's sleep time.
All right, guys.
All right.
Have a great night.
Have a great night, everybody. See you soon.